Hello and salutations, it's me, Salty, welcome back to 2 Cents Toys, and today I'm going over the Marvel Legends Age of Apocalypse Sunfire. I pre-ordered this on Amazon for like 20 bucks, 21 bucks, whatever it was. He showed up yesterday, day before, something like that. But I have no particular attachment to this version of Sunfire, or really Sunfire in general. But if you've been watching the channel for a while, you know exactly why I got this, all this translucity goodness. Talking about the box, you see we get Sunfire, we get 2 arms to Sugar Man, Sunfire, X-Men, Marvel Legends at the top. Got the paper J-hook up here, Age of Apocalypse logo on the very top of the box. Bottom of the box has a bunch of legalese no one cares about. Side of the box you get Sunfire with Apocalypse above him. Same picture on the other side. Back of the box you get a picture of the figure, a little read up about, Sunfire. Picture of the Bath, everyone else in the wave, Jean Grey, X-Man, Sunfire, Wildchild, Weapon X, Morph, and Dark Beast. I only ordered X-Man and Sunfire because I don't have any attachment to the rest of these characters. As much as I want the Sugar Man Bath, I'm probably just going to buy him separately because I already have my definitive Jean Grey. I have no attachment to him. I never really cared for this version of Wolverine. Hashtag not my Morph. And I'm fine with the beast that we got, as much as I'd like a, calmer head sculpt, but that's neither here nor there. With all that out of the way, I'm going to get him open. We'll go over articulation. I'll do a side-by-side of the other Sunfire I have, even though it's going to be apples and oranges, but we'll go over it anyway. Quickly, before we go over what else is in the box, it looks like they are going back to just having the plastic on the front again instead of those clamshells that they've been using for the past year or so. I get to look forward to that again. Just kidding, there's nothing else in the box. Just Sunfire and the bath pieces, which is fine. So I believe that this body is that Spider-Man 2099, Sunfire body, the butterfly joints with the angle on them. But this is like glued on or something. It doesn't pop off, at least not in any fashion that I'm willing to try, because it feels pretty permanently affixed to the front. And it covers up part of the butterfly joints, but based on the curvature right here and right there, it looks like it does come to the point under here. So I'm going to assume that's the body. The forearms and the hands are reused from Human Torch. As you can see in this side-by-side, it's just they're cast into yellow translucence instead of red. They may have been used before that, but this is the one that came to mind when I saw them. Otherwise, this is brand new. I figured it'd be, again, the Human Torch reuse, but it's brand new. And ostensibly a brand new head sculpt. Again, I don't have that. I think it was Toy Fair magazine exclusive or something like that. I don't have that one to do a side-by-side. So far as I can tell, this is a new head sculpt. I'm happy with this at any rate. And so there's nothing else in the package. We'll go over articulation and do some side-by-sides, and we'll just call it a day. So due to the amount of flames on top of his head and the flame here, if you move this out of the way, this little curly Q, and this larger one to the side a little bit, his head pops off. If you move them out of the way, it aids in bringing his head up, but that's as far as he can look up, unfortunately, just because you can't move that completely out of the way. So if you want to get him into a flight pose, it's probably not going to happen. Unfortunately, that's the farthest you're going to get. He can bury his chin, however. And looking side to side, his jaw will crash into these, but you can still get him to look that far in either direction. He has little to no tilt to speak about. Shoulders do have butterfly joints like I mentioned, but they come up way past 90. It's always a battle with the butterfly joint because it loves to move back and forth, but the shoulder can spin 360 with minimal problems. The butterfly joint allows his arm to go back that far and forward that far. Bicep swivel. Double jointed elbows come up that far. We have wrist swivel, and the wrist on this hand pivots in, but this flame on the back of his fist makes it hard to pivot back any further, unfortunately. Same can be said for this wrist because it has that big flame on the back of it. It doesn't really want to pivot back, but it will pivot in. He can lean forward that far, lean back that far, swivel at the waist. He can kick forward to a hair past 90, can't really kick back at all. Kicks out to about a 45, thigh swivel. Double jointed knees come up almost all the way, except his calf kicks into his thigh here, so if that was shaved down a little bit, he would kick his back. Boot swivel, ankle goes all the way back, forward, and rocker. This is the Warlock Wave Sunfire next to this new Sunfire, and ostensibly they have the same body mold, they have the same butterfly cuts, same almost everything else, only that this Sunfire has the peg hole in the back, and this Sunfire does not. It's kind of apples and oranges otherwise. They could be completely different characters if you didn't know any better. Now, something that I wanted to talk about translucence. As people know, translucent figures can become fragile over time. This is the Iceman from the Juggernaut Wave, and he feels like a different type of plastic. He feels a little bit sturdier, where this is kind of a thin plastic in a lot of areas. Translucence does have a history of becoming brittle over time. I won't lie to you about that. Case in point, it's hard to see it like this, but my Iceman does have a crack in his thigh. If I pivot him a little bit, you can see the crack right there in his thigh, and that's just from it becoming brittle over time. Something else to be cognizant about is paint, because this is just painted on, so if you scratch it, or get any kind of nicks and dings, you're definitely going to see it. Like I already got one there on top of his foot. Translucence is nothing new in the Marvel Legends line, and I don't think this is all of them, but these are the mostly like translucent ones I could think of, whether they're completely see-through and clear or what have you. I know Hydra Man isn't necessarily translucent, but he does have a large portion of his body that is. That was kind of the cutoff for me. I do love my translucence, and I just thought it'd be fun to put all the ones that I have side by side. And that's about all I got for today. Quick and easy review. Again, I love translucence. I do worry about the figure becoming brittle over time, but I think he's going to look great on the shelf. That's just my opinion. Again, I don't have any emotional attachment to this version of Sunfire or Sunfire in general, but I just love translucence, so I had to have them. About 20 bucks. If you like the Age of Apocalypse, or you like this version of Sunfire, or you're a fan of translucence, then I'd pick it up. If you don't care about translucence, you don't care about Sunfire, and you don't care about Age of Apocalypse, then you could probably just skip the whole wave, to be perfectly honest with you. Anyway, let me know down below if translucence is a selling point for you, or maybe you know a lot about Sunfire and you love this particular version, or maybe you got the Toy Fair, again, I think it was Toy Fair exclusive, whether it was the magazine or the convention, I really don't remember. Anyway, that's all I got for today, so don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. And until next time, thanks for stopping by. I'm Salty, signing off.